take the mask off. Not a single tear on my cheek. It's what they call one hell of a week. The flame, throw a flame on, leave it to the goat. Told you that it's game on. Break a leg, take a favorite rapper, put a name on. And send his whole catalog to a graveyard. Going on and on by how you know my catalog. Should be embarrassed that you even listen at all. I try to warn you about the second coming. When I arrive, you go and tell your brothers, your sisters, your cousins. Now that I'm here, what do you wanna do? I'm who you love, not who you wanna lose. I'm who you want, who you want, who you want, who you want. And that's just the truth, that's just the truth, that's just the truth. I'm who you want, who you want, who you want, who you want. And that's just the truth, that's just the truth, that's just the truth. Baby, now you know who to love. Hey, the feeling that's attached. Hey, how you gon' react when you don't get it back? Baby, now you know who to love and you know who to call. Hey, now I got you on the ropes. Hope you don't fall. I told you who to trust. Hey, you think you got it, but it's different than it was. Hey, now you on the outside looking for the love. That's why you need to listen to your friends and your family. Oh, now that I'm here, what do you wanna do? I'm who you love, not who you wanna lose. I'm who you love, who you want, who you want, who you want. And that's just the truth, that's just the truth, that's just the truth. I'm who you want, who you want, who you want, who you want. And that's...
Okay, the wait is over. Real is back. I'm back. Yeah, yeah. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. Welcome back. Get what I am. This that flow that got the block hot. Had the scrub club poppin'. That real Atlanta shit. I got my brothers in this thing with me. So before you walk up on me talking, check your energy. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you drinking, if you rollin' or you ain't. We gon' pull it up. I cut it up like 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 yeah, this that no side of the ATL. On the west side, we all ATL. She from out east, but she ATL. North side, ATL. I'ma throw the cat, make it rain for you. This that goody mob, baby, soul food. This that Lil John, baby, this that crunchy. This that Sean Paul, baby, this that give me the light. I cut it up like 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 I cut it up like
Good morning. It's early. What's up, y'all? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? What's up, Twitch? Doing a little early morning stream, man. I ain't really got too much going on. Ain't got too much going on. Probably gonna be chilling on YouTube. A lot of y'all don't know. I don't express everything, but I've been trying to stay consistent with my streaming. I'm trying to stream this whole week. Trying to stream this whole week. From Monday all the way to Monday. So we're at Wednesday. And I've been able to stream, consistent. It's a little hard to stay consistent, to be honest. Turn my music down. I feel like the music might be a little bit louder than me. Turn it down. But yeah, man. We're gonna be chilling on YouTube today. See if the homie Jordan drops some new stuff today on his Instagram. I know y'all can't see the screen yet. Give me a second. Oh, there you go. I gotta change the aspect ratio just a little. Just a little bit. I don't like my search bar being shown. All right, let's see if Jay drops some new stuff on his YouTube. Shout out to the homie Jordan. Um, this is his YouTube right here, Shorty's Auto. Right, chill. He's been pretty consistent with the content. You know what I'm saying? Dropping stuff, dropping shorts. He could drop a lot of shorts too. Let's look at some of his shorts. His shorts thing. This is one of Jay's Blazers, man. He's had this car, I think, the longest out of his fleet. Um, I think he told me he's the second owner of this truck. That's his baby, man. He's been working on this for a minute. This is, I guess, I'm showing you the progress of the wrap. No, go ahead and stop my Jay, I'm definitely going to hit you up when it's time for me to wrap the prelude. I just got to get all the dents off of my shit first. But once I get all the dents off my shit, Jay, trust me, I'm going to be hitting you. I still haven't seen this car in person yet, Jay. So I'm gonna have to pull up on you to see the Blazer in person. I haven't seen it since he completed the wrap. I forgot you threw the clear tail lights on it, man. See what I'm saying? I haven't seen this car in a minute. These were not the tail lights that were on here originally. Definitely upgraded the tail lights for sure. It looks good. I like it. This man does all his own work, bro. He does all his stuff himself, okay? So I know y'all see it in a shop, but don't get it misconstrued. Bruh works in the shop, okay? So this is what he's doing in his free time type shit. I guess he's showing the imperfections. Jay's a real nigga, but I know he gonna end up fixing that later. He just showing you the imperfections. Now, mind you, Jay do not wrap cars professionally, bro. This is not his profession. But for this to be like, I think this is his second car that he's wrapped. I don't know. Second car that I know of that he's wrapped. CRX was the first one I know of. Pretty sure that's gonna be in his shorts too. Purple's one of my favorite colors, by the way. See the CRX. CRX right there to the right. Ooh, wet. Wet. Hey, if you don't know, I'm gonna put y'all on, okay? When you see a car in the car washing area like this, and it's dripping, this is car porn, okay? This is car porn. She's wet, all right? That shit look good. Looks good, Mike. And to think he used to let me borrow this car to, run my little errands when my shit was fucked up. That's what's up. Let's go to the next one. Turbo GSR smoking on the dyno. Now, Jay, I know you're gonna tell me in the comments, why was it smoking like that? Was that an oil leak on the turbo? Because I'm not a professional, but that looked like a lot of oil was getting onto the hot side of the turbo and burning off. So that CRX that y'all see, this is what it looks like. Well, minus the rims. The rims aren't the same, but this is currently what it looks like. And he did this wrap himself. K-Swap Turbo. Shout out to Overlook. That's the crew. Carbon fiber seats. Ooh. Jay, I want to be like you when I grow up. That shit's tough. And Jay has a hard on for carbon fiber, so you're gonna see carbon fiber everywhere. Little spinny boy. So this is with the K-Swap Turbo. Hey, if you're watching this, y'all tell Jay he need to get a GoPro to put on his helmet so that or his hat so we can see when he's shifting and he's just getting them pulls, bro. Oh, this is the electric power steering setup. This is dope. That shit's tough. So this is a short of him doing the install. Doing the install. I think he switched that battery over to the other side too. All these videos are on his page too, man. Y'all go check out Shorties_auto on YouTube. Man. All he does full build. He's showing you full what he did on in the video. That's the CRX now with the white wheels on it. Since I've known him, this car's gone through many transformations, and I only been knowing bro going on 5 years now. This car's been through so many changes, bro. I want to go aluminum radiator on my Prelude so bad. Hey, I was here for this. We actually streamed on this day. Um, we actually streamed on this day when Jay was out here. Jay and Keys was sliding on this day. Shout out to that nigga Keys. They the Z boys. They was both sliding in them Z's, man. I hear Maya screaming in the passenger seat. She's having a ball, bro. That's Jay driving. I don't have a phone, so I kind of usually tilt my head sideways. I don't have my phone. I have a phone, but what I'm saying, I'm not watching it from my phone. If I was watching this from my phone, I'd have my phone side. Ooh, that's Keys right there. That's Keys. Oh shit. Run it back. Look at Keys right here. Keys, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Look at Keys right there. That's Keys and the Z right there in the corner. What are you doing, man? Hey, what's crazy is I'm standing like right here. On God, I swear this is me. Because like I said, I was streaming this thing. And I remember because I was tripping out because Jay, like, okay, so Keys spun out on this corner. Jay drifted around it. I thought that was the coldest shit ever. I swear this is me right here. I promise that's me. That shit was cold. Maya's cracking up, bro. What the fuck? That shit's hilarious. What is this? Oh, break roller, resurface it. I need this. I need this brake blade in my for my personal. Like I need one of those in my own for my own setup. No cap. Oh, excuse me. That's the Z that he's drifting. You know, I'm just sitting here thinking I've never put any of my cars on dyno. Nope, never done it. What does that say? It's hard to see. Can't read. Purple. Where am I supposed to be looking? I guess up here. This is wheel torque, wheel power. So was that? Was that like looks like the green was the last one? So about can't tell. It says wheel torque. I don't know. I can't really tell, but probably around 280, 250 horses. I don't know. It's hard to see. It's hard to see. Shout out to all the Honda boys out there. Yo, speaking of Hondas, you know what? I seen this on. I didn't even watch the full video, just so y'all know I'm capping. I'm not capping. Look at this. Look how far into this video. They're supposed to be 20 hours ago. Look how far I got into it. I stopped it because I got pissed off. I got fucking pissed, bro. All right, I'm gonna run it back for y'all, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm pissed in many ways. Okay,
Out there. This is a track car. I wanted something that, like, in 10 years, I've had the
And shout out to Donut Media, but I don't fuck with y'all new platform, bro. I fuck with the OG Donut Media, bro. This new shit has just been kind of, um, but yeah, let's. I'm gonna walk y'all through what pissed me off. Okay.
same privilege of driving some of the coolest and fastest cars in the world. I've experienced the best of the best. So why the heck did I choose to buy this 40-year-old rusty salvage title hunk of junk right here? I've been hiding this Civic from you guys for 2 years.
And that's what pissed me off. That's what pissed me off. That statement right there. First off, this nigga drives a Mustang. That's what he drives. This is a Mustang on it. Okay? And I don't care who you are in chat. Okay? If you drive a Mustang, we seen the clips. We seen how y'all get down at the meets. Okay? So this guy's I feel like he's trying to redeem himself by talking about something. I've been hiding this car from you guys for 2 years. That's cap, bruh. I think you're trying to switch sides. You're trying to come over to the Honda team because that Ford is trash. And now you're trying to come over to the Honda team by starting off with a track car, an EF. Now shout out to the EFs. I used to own this car. Shout out to the homie Zay. He got an EF. EF gangs, bro. If you know, you know. This is one of the OG Civics, bro. Um, I just feel like he's a poser, bro. I'm gonna watch the whole video, but I got about right here, and then I stopped watching because you don't hide a Civic from a car channel for 2 years. You don't do that. You know, and then I'm very observant. I would have seen this car in the back. You just got this car, bro. Stop capping. You just got the car. You're happy. You feel like you're a part of something, and now you trying to flex like you've had this car for 2 years. So let's just see out of the 2 years what all he's done to this. Because I just shown y'all my homie's channel. Homie Jay, he's building multiple cars in a short amount of time. Bro said he's been hiding this car for 2 years. But let's just see. I mean, I'm you know.
And today, I'm gonna tell you why I bought this old ass Civic. We're gonna finish the build. Oh, what the hell? And finally, by the end of this video, I hope I can convince you.
I'm convinced he bought the Civic partially track built. I don't think he put all his traction on. I think he put some of it, but I would have to see him buying this car dead stock. I would have to see that.
You have an open
Right
mind.
now, I think he has that.
All right, this is my 1988 Honda Civic DX. Before I did all this work to it, it was a totally base model, automatic, super slow Honda Civic. In the hierarchy,
He showed us one picture. He showed us one picture.
EINIUM, molybdenum.
Molybdenum?
It's a fun word. And just kind of like getting really interested in that motor and being like, hierarchy of Civics, you know, I go to bat for the EF. 88 Honda Civic DX.
Like I said, I need to see pictures or a video of him buying this dead stock.
Before I did all this work to it, it was a totally base model, automatic, super slow.
He's saying this is the same car. That's what he's saying. It's the same car. He's saying this is the car that he bought. Now, why didn't you take a picture next to it? I don't know. I just think you could pull this up on Google and say you bought it. Whatever. Let's keep going.
Honda Civic. In the hierarchy of Civics, you know, I go to bat for the EF, but I think most people probably think like the EK or the EG or the FL5 are like the coolest Civics out there. This is a track.
He's not a Honda guy, so all this shit he's talking about, I go to bat for the EFs. You drive a Mustang.
car. I wanted something that I could take to the track, get laps in, get seat time in, and not worry about the aesthetics, not worry about how it looks necessarily. I've been chipping away at this thing for around 2 years now. It looks a lot different than it did when I first got it. And sorry I didn't make any videos about it.
Cat. I'm sorry you didn't make any videos about it. Let's see what he did in 2 years. Let's run it back.
Get laps in, get seat time in, and not worry about the aesthetics, not worry about how it looks necessarily. I've been chipping away at this thing for around 2 years now. It looks a lot.
Okay. 2 years, and it looks like he's already GSR swapped it. So there's a GSR in there. Why wouldn't you show a GSR swap on the Donut Media channel? I would have loved to see that. I'm a Honda guy. I want to see this shit. I mean, it's been done thousands of times, but hey, let's see you do it. That would have been great. So you take a picture in front of it. Cool, whatever.
A lot different than it did when I first.
Let's see, suspension, wheels. Looks like CV axles. He looks like he probably did a full front end on it. Radiator, aluminum radiator, tires, rims, aluminum oil pan. Looks like new motor mounts, intake system, wired tuck kit. 1320 racing mounts. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing. But why don't you take a picture in front of this? This player right here, this baller, bro. Let me see. Yeah.
Got it. And sorry I didn't make any videos about it. But you know, in that time frame, I've been pretty busy. I think other creators can relate to this, but like, I kind of just wanted something for myself that I didn't have to like worry about. I didn't want it to like turn into like a job obligation.
Whatever.
I hope you understand.
Your job is a
But
fucking car
I can show you everything right now. I can tell you everything. Let's do it. Originally, this car came with a 1.5 liter D15 engine, making around 90 horsepower, probably had like 50 horsepower.
That engine bay looks the exact same that it looked from the picture that you took. That engine bay looks the exact same. He didn't even paint the. Man, let me just play it. Let me just play the shit, bro. Let me make it full screen for y'all.
At the time. Now, we got the B18C1, dude. This is the poor man's Type R setup right here. B18C1 block and head, Integra GSR intake, Integra GSR transmission. Civic guys, you guys know. I've been told it's around 175 horsepower. I've never dynoed the car, so I have no idea.
You see how he did the Civic guys, you guys know. He doesn't even consider himself a part of the code of the. That's what I'm saying. This nigga's posing. You're a poser, bro. It's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with you buying a Civic. I'm not saying nigga can't buy a Civic, but don't try to make it seem like you've been hiding this car for 2 years and you've been doing all this extravagant shit, bro. You're on a car channel. Show, do it. Like you're not man. Look. I don't know. I don't like that shit. And this is why I don't fuck with the new Donut Media channel. But anyway, let's keep going.
Idea really what it truly makes, but it feels pretty zippy.
Damn, it's polite.
It's polite. I didn't want something. I have no idea really what it truly makes, but it feels pretty zippy.
Why though? I'm just gonna leave it right there. What exhaust is that? What exhaust is that? Two years. Stock exhaust. Headers though. Headers. But stock exhaust. I hear you, man. I hear you. Let's go.
Damn, it's polite.
It's polite. I didn't want something super duper loud.
Dude, the induction is pretty
You
sick.
can hear that, right? Many years ago, when we were doing Up to Speed, you know, we were writing and doing research on the Integra Type R episode. I started learning about the B18 and how it had like molybdenum-coated cylinder wall.
Now that I feel like he told some truth. He said a few years ago he started learning about these. Learning. That's probably when it started. Probably about a few years ago, and usually a few is around what 1 or 2 years. So did you buy this? He's saying he bought this right around the time he was learning about Hondas, but bro, this dude, they got separate podcasts, all this. This is missed content, missed opportunity. You could have been posting about this shit.
Balls and like all these cool tricks. Moly molib BDINIUM molybdenum.
Molybdenum?
It's a fun word. And just kind of like getting really interested in that motor and being like, someday I want to have that engine. Normally Honda guys have like their valve cover painted.
See, I keep saying Honda guys. Normally Honda guys. And what did you do? You decided to be different. Let me see. He's probably gonna say, "Oh, I want to be different and keep mine." I don't know what the fuck you about to say.
But like, this is not, again, not really about aesthetics, this car. It's about pure function. We did the whole swap over at Hasport. It was myself, Brian.
Okay, now I fuck with his channel. Now, if they did this over at his channel, it might be legit. I might have to do my research because that's VTech Academy. That's a real channel, but we're doing a lot of Honda builds. If there's a full video of him showing this and it's about 2 years ago, I would say it's not cap. But if VTech Academy shows this build and it's about a month or two or even 4 months ago, cap.
And Brian,
This is your car.
Scott, Carter, Brian, and Aaron, we're all putting this together in like 3 or 4 days. If you want to see that whole process, it's over on VTech Academy's channel. Some of you guys might have seen that by now, but if you want to, after this, you're like, I want to see.
So he did not build this car. VTech Academy built this car, and it didn't take them 2 years to do it. Never mind.
The build itself, go check out that video. We'll put it in the description and at the end of this video. There's an M Factory limited slip in the transmission there, and dude, that thing hooks up. It is really neat to feel a front wheel drive car like hook up on the front. It's a really interesting feeling.
So why the heck is a limited slip differential so important? Imagine front wheels right here are what's pulling the car forward. You're gonna go into a right-hand turn. You turn your wheels to do the turn, putting a lot of load on this outside tire. On the inside tire now is unloaded. The power is gonna find the path of least resistance. What a limited slip differential does is now both these tires have equal load going from the engine, meaning that now this outside tire is able to move at the same speed and intensity as this inside tire.
It's really frustrating when you're at the track with an open diff car, especially a front wheel drive car,
because you know you want to get out of the turn fast. You know you want to put that power down faster, but just feeling that front tire just start burning out, you know you're just losing time at the track.
For wheels, I got the NK RPF ones. They're pretty much the Air Force ones of track wheels. They're super light, they're tough as hell. They're not the most stylish wheel out there, but they are practical. Just like everything else on this car, it has a practical reason for being on here. Also, pretty affordable for what they are.
225s in the front,
205s in the rear. It's got a staggered setup. That's a Civic thing. I want to say they call it like Osaka setup. Something I would love to do at some point. There's a company out there that makes these adapters where you can put turbo fans on the outside. That would be an aesthetic choice because I really don't think that this thing's generating enough heat in the brakes to warrant having like heat extraction on the wheel, but it looks cool.
Let's talk about the stance on this thing. It's sitting pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I've got a lot of camber in the front to make the tires fit under these fenders that I rolled. We'll be doing something to fix that a little later, but it's a racy setup. It's not super slammed. It's just, it's there to lower the center of gravity, help it handle a little better. At Hasport, we installed some Progress coilovers all the way around. There's a Progress sway bar in the rear, no sway bar in the front. That's another kind of like Honda thing, is no sway bar in the front, have the rear be really stiff, again, to promote that rotation, that off-throttle oversteer. What else? I also have refreshed the entire suspension system with new True Heart components, so like caster arms, all the linkages, it's all True Heart, it's all adjustable stuff. Going back to like high-low, you can think of this car as like almost a mid-car setup. If you're building two like EF hatch track cars, grip cars, this would be sort of like a mid-car sort of setup.
If you're like me, you want an off-roading tire that knows the dirt, not something that was cooked up. Let's start fixing supper. Let's boil some of these up.
Boiled rubber, my favorite.
talk interior.
Can't wait to sit in this seat.
Yeah.
Can't wait to sit in this seat.
Yeah, there's no seat, Pablo, I'm sorry. Starting with the wheel, like it's a Narita dogfight wheel. It has the blue interior in here. We got the blue carpet. I got the blue shift knob. I was like, I gotta have a blue wheel. Front half of the car is still pretty stock. I like having a stock dashboard, even if it's probably heavier. I could probably remove some of this stuff and save more weight. But I like the feeling of having a stock dash. It just gets me in a mindset that I like. We got the hybrid racing shifter here, which I love. We use the hybrid shifter in the EG. We used the Narita dogfight wheel in the EG. So I was like, I like those parts. I love the hybrid shifter because you can like adjust where, you know, everything is. And it's like just boop, boop, boop. You ain't shifting like me. Boop, boop, boop. Again, this was an automatic, so we had to install the pedal box and the hydraulic cylinder. I think that was from Hush Performance, that whole kit. I had to find a lot of parts to like convert this thing from automatic to manual. But you know, honestly, it's not too bad. We have an auto power roll bar.
Tell me about all the parts you had to find to convert your car from automatic to manual. I know nothing about that. So tell me.
For safety, you know, this is a car from the 80s, and like you look at these A-pillars, I feel like, you know, if you can almost put your entire hand around the A-pillar, that makes me a little nervous, so I wanted something that would support the roof. This seat, I did not pay for. I didn't get it sponsored either. I just stole it from Donut. I'm pretty sure it was in High Z. It was up on a rack, and I asked Adam, hey, I have this track day coming up, can I borrow the seat? So I'll have to buy my own at some point. I got this EFB Motorsports gauge cluster here where my water temp gauge is at. I still need to add a oil pressure and oil temp gauge, but you know, water temp's kind of bare minimum.
What about like a butthole temp? Like
A butthole temp gauge?
Like so you know you're not running hot.
Oh, I'm always running hot. This is a Cybon carbon hood. This is maybe like the only aesthetic touch on the car. Also, weight savings could be kind of like argued. To get the hood to clear the valve cover, I did have to trim out some of this ribbing here. I had to trim this out and then also install these risers here. I really wish I didn't have to do that because when the hood's down, like this is coming up.
I've seen this a lot though on a lot of JDM Honda builds. But what's next? I mean, I feel
So that is actually a very necessary part if your car is on the track. That is actually for heat exhaustion too. Yes, it gives you clearance under the hood, but it's also for heat exhaustion. Especially if you're running like a K series where your exhaust is at the firewall, that's gonna let out so much heat from under the engine bay. So yeah, it's like I said, this thing is a poser.
like this is done, right?
This thing is pretty much done. We have one final step. I'm glad you asked, Pablo. These fenders, just the way the fitment is with the wide tires, I've had to camber in the front tires a lot, and it looks pretty sweet, but I think actually I do need less camber. So to give us room for that, I got these fenders right here. We'll install these. We can get the camber dialed in. Also save some more weight. These things are super light. So let's do it. So you might notice we're not at Donut right now. We're here at Mason's shop. He owns the Gamma Goat. My Low Z's here, and he's got some other cool cars in here. This is a little home away from home.
He even has some roadkill stuff. You guys might recognize that.
The Jaguar up there. What is this? Datsun and truck? Mazda truck.
Oh my God.
I actually want to drive this thing so bad, but Mason says it's a terrifying death trap.
This is Mason. You guys know him. Go watch the Gamma Go video. It's still broken.
And then my Imperial's up there. We'll get back to that. Another tastefully clapped car.
I also really like how the tow hook kind of looks like a tongue.
It's a little tongue guy, yeah.
The first time I saw you working on your Civic after a shoe one day.
Civic's turning from a muscle car guy to like a all kinds of cars guy, really. When I was 18, I thought Civics were so lame, dude. And then I drove one, a nice one. And I saw the light.
Chat, he probably been working on this car for 2 years, Chat. Maybe. I just got this. I gotta look at the history. Maybe.
Honda did such a good job styling this car. I really love how the EF looks.
I think it's funny because you guys drove all the Civics and you didn't even put this in your top like 3.
I know. In retrospect, yeah. I really like the EA hatch, this SI that I drove. I would love one of those.
You guys didn't even drive this car. You
No.
drove the better version.
Yeah, we drove the CRX. You know what it is, dude? Like, CRXs are clearly like the choice, but my second grade teacher drove a CRX, which in retrospect, pretty cool second grade teacher. But maybe that's like, not tainted it, but I'm like, I don't want to drive Mrs. Salemi's car.
Oh, what the hell?
Let's see the weight difference. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, that's nice. Maybe a third of the weight. So these are Osaka JDM fenders. I ordered these a couple months ago.
Well, this thing's gonna look like a panda.
Shout out designer, dude.
Gorilla, they come and kill you with bananas.
Where does this build rank on some of the more stressful things you've done on camera?
This is going pretty easy so far.
Don't cross thread, Nolan. Don't be doing that.
Dude, I bet you're black and white so much in this edit right now.
don't say that. It's just fenders. I think these are going to take away some of the swag of the car, to be honest, but it'll add functionality, which is what we want.
You know what it needs though? It needs like a waifu sticker on it.
No. And once we adjust the camber like a degree or two, it'll fill this out a little more, and I won't worry about self-clearancing the tires on the fender. This is it, gang. There she is. It's done. You gotta be honest, I liked it better with the white fenders. Less camber, but still tasteful amount.
Let's go pick up some girls.
Even though we got no seats and I'm married. Something I've learned lately is that it feels good to finish stuff. You know, I spent a lot of years picking up projects, picking up hobbies, but not finishing them, not progressing. This project right here, I think I can call it pretty close to done. There's some things that need to be tightened up here and there. The engine's doing a weird kind of like surging idle thing. Why is it doing?
It's an idle air control valve. That's what he needs.
Doing that. I'll look into that. There's a weird clunking in the front. I need to look into that. But I think it's done. I think I can very comfortably take this to the track and do what it was meant to do instead of kind of like making excuses of like, oh, you know what? It's not quite ready yet. No, I won't go this weekend. It's not done. It's done. And that feels really good. Didn't mean to blow off the tires like that. This car is awesome. I was never a big Honda guy. In fact,
And there it is, chat. Like I said. And there it is. I was never a big Honda guy. It shows, bro. It shows. I'm not gonna welcome you to the community, but hey, you here? You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna be your biggest hater, but yeah, whatever. Let's see what else is on here. Turbocharger.
In the early 1990s, Japan was doing something no one else on Earth was doing. Engineers at Mazda, Toyota, and Nissan were building turbocharged engines that had almost no lag. Not less lag, almost none. And they did it without changing the basic turbocharger itself. Instead, they rewired the entire logic of how a turbo system works. That technology was called sequential twin turbocharging. It ran in some of the most legendary engines ever put in a production car, the 2JZ GTE in the Supra, the 13B REW in the RX-7. Today, those cars sell for 6 figures at auction. Collectors fight over them. But almost nobody talks about the actual engineering that made them special, or why that specific approach to turbocharging was eventually abandoned. This is that story, And it starts not with a car, but with a country drowning in money. To understand why Japan's car industry exploded with innovation in the early 1990s, you need to understand the decade that came before it. Between 1985 and 1991, Japan's economy entered what economists now call the asset price bubble, a period of almost delusional growth where real estate and stock prices climbed so fast and so high that they lost all connection to reality. The Nikkei stock index hit 38,915 yen at the close of 1989. Land prices in Tokyo had risen over 300% in just 6 years. Japanese corporations were awash in cash, banks were giving out loans with almost no scrutiny, and the entire country felt invincible. It was, by any measure, one of the most spectacular economic booms any developed nation has ever produced. For the car manufacturers, this translated directly into engineering freedom. Research and development budgets grew to a scale that simply didn't exist anywhere else in the world at the time. The mandate from the boardrooms at Toyota, Nissan, Honda, and Mazda wasn't to build something cheap. It was to build something better than anything Europe or America had ever put on the road. And critically, their engineers had the budget to try absolutely anything. Honda developed an all-aluminum F1-inspired mid-engine supercar, the NSX, with actual input from Ayrton Senna on the handling. Nissan packed four-wheel steering in the R32 Skyline GTR alongside their Atessa ETS all-wheel drive system. Mitsubishi put active aerodynamics and all-wheel steering in the 3000 GT VR4. Even entry-level cars got insane treatment. Toyota put 5 valves per cylinder and individual throttle bodies into a Corolla variant that could rev to over 9,000 RPM. Ferrari didn't use that technology until years later. But the most fascinating and the most consequential engineering problem these companies were trying to solve was turbocharging. Because by the late 1980s, turbochargers were the weapon of choice for making power in a small displacement engine. But they came with a serious flaw, and Japan was determined to fix it. Before we talk about the solution, we need to understand the problem. A turbocharger works by using exhaust gases to spin a turbine, which in turn spins a compressor, which forces more air into the engine. More air, more fuel, more power. In theory, it's free energy. You're harvesting exhaust heat that would otherwise go to waste. The catch is response. The turbine needs exhaust pressure to spin up, and exhaust pressure builds with RPM. At low engine speeds, there's not enough exhaust flow to get the turbo spooled up quickly. Press the throttle from idle or low RPM, and you get nothing. Then suddenly, as the engine climbs through the rev range, boost arrives hard. That delay is turbo lag, and on a performance car, it means unpredictable power delivery exactly when you need to be most precise, coming out of a corner, overtaking on a highway, or navigating a mountain pass. The engineering solution at the time was to use a smaller turbocharger. A small unit spins up faster because its turbine wheel has less mass to accelerate. Smaller turbo, faster spool, less lag. The problem is that a small turbo runs out of breath at high RPM. It simply can't flow enough air to maintain strong boost when the engine is demanding maximum airflow, so the power band gets narrow. You either have fast response with weak top-end power or strong top-end power with sluggish response. Pick one. Japanese engineers in the late 1980s looked at that choice and decided they didn't want to pick. They wanted both. The answer they came up with was sequential twin turbocharging, running 2 turbos of different sizes, one after the other, so each handled the part of the rev range it was optimally sized for. One small turbo for instant low RPM response, one larger turbo for high RPM power. The clever part was making the transition between them seamless, and that part was anything but simple. The first mass production application of sequential twin turbocharging in Japan came from Mazda in a car they had no business making as good as they did. The FD-RX-7, launched in Japan in 1991, was built around Mazda's rotary engine, the 13B-WEW. This was a 1.3-liter twin-rotor Wankel, a displacement that sounds almost laughably small for a performance car. The rotary engine has its own story worth an entire video, But the relevant detail here is this. Wankel rotaries make their power at very high RPM. They need revs. And a large, slow-spooling turbocharger paired to a rotary is a terrible match. The engine sits at the bottom of its power band waiting for the turbo to wake up, and when it finally does, the power arrives so suddenly that the car becomes dangerous. Mazda's engineers had been working on sequential turbo systems since the mid-1980s, first on the luxury Unos Cosmo in 1990, and they carried that work directly into the FD. The 13B WEW used two identically sized turbos in a sequential arrangement. At low RPM, all exhaust gas flowed into the primary turbocharger alone. That concentrated exhaust stream got the small primary turbo spinning quickly, generating boost from around 1800 to 2500 RPM, much earlier than any single conventional turbo could manage. As RPM climbed toward 4500, a valve opened and exhaust gases began diverting to the secondary turbo, spinning it up in the background. At full transition, both turbos ran together in parallel, pulling the engine through to its 8,000 RPM redline. The result was an engine that delivered 255 horsepower from a 1.3-liter displacement with a power curve that felt almost naturally aspirated in character, linear, predictable, and eager at any throttle position. From the factory, the FD hit 60 miles per hour in about 5 seconds, which put it in a class of cars with much larger engines. More importantly, it handled those corners and mountain passes the way a performance car should, because the power was there when you asked for it, not 2 seconds later. But making this work required extraordinary complexity. The vacuum system controlling the transition between the two turbos used 67 individual vacuum hoses, a tangle so dense that Mazda technicians called it the rat's nest. Every one of those hoses had to work perfectly. If even one cracked or stiffened from the intense heat generated in the rotary's engine bay, the sequential system misbehaved. The secondary turbo might not engage properly, the transition might be jerky, or boost control would go wrong entirely. When the FD was maintained properly, it was one of the greatest driver's cars of the decade. When it wasn't, owners faced some of the most frustrating and expensive repairs in the enthusiast car world. That tension, brilliant when right, nightmarish when wrong, would define the sequential twin-turbo era across every Japanese manufacturer that embraced it. Toyota was watching what Mazda had done. They had their own sequential twin-turbo system in development for their inline-six engines, and in 1991, it debuted in the Aristo, Japan's luxury sedan sold as the Lexus GS in export markets. But it was in 1993, bolted to the 3.0-liter 2JZ block and dropped into the fourth-generation Supra, that the system became legendary. The 2JZ GTE's sequential system worked on similar logic to Mazda's, but with a notably different approach to controlling the secondary turbine. Rather than using a valve upstream of the secondary turbine housing to divert exhaust, Toyota controlled the system from downstream, choking off the secondary turbo's exit with 2 valves until the right RPM was reached. Fewer vacuum lines, slightly simpler transition logic. Having developed their system after Mazda, Toyota had the advantage of learning from the 13B REW's complexity and engineering around some of its more common failure points. The factory output was listed at 280 PS, 276 horsepower. That was not a coincidence. In 1989, Japan's